What is up, guys? It's your boy Ben Bomb 12 here, back with another week of predictions. Here we are in week 16 of the NFL season. Only officially 32 more games to predict here in the regular season. We're doing 16 of them today, obviously, because there's 2 more weeks. And okay, whatever. Easy math, easy math. Last week I went 8-8 though, not too good. I picked quite a bit of upsets, and then the upsets that did happen, I didn't even get them right. So it was like bad week, whatever. Second worst week I've had so far, besides week 10, I think it was. But that brings my overall record up to 88-56. Not too terrible. I've seen worse. I've also seen better. So we're in there in the middle. I know how to do this now, guys. It goes left to right, then bottom left to right. I went like up and down like that. So it made all the matchups weird. So coming in here at our first game, we have the 9-5 Texans facing off against the red hot 7-7 Buccaneers. Honestly, this game could go either way, but with the Bucs putting all their dudes on IR, the Texans having so much to play for, because if they get a win here, they clinch a division. They don't want to play week 17, both two team seasons on the line with the Titans and them, and having to win that game. They'd much rather win right here. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to Tampa, take care of the red hot Bucs. Like I said, if they didn't pretty much close up shop for the season, the Bucs, with getting rid of putting away, I don't know how you even say that, like putting on injured reserve, I guess that's how you word it, Mike Evans and another wide receiver, which I can't think of the name right now. Also, this is a Saturday matchup, so you know, if y'all are free on Saturday, watch that. But yeah, moving on to our next Saturday game. You know, there's 3 games on Saturday. Moving on to our next game, we have the 10-4 Bills facing off against the 11-3 Patriots. Really good game. New England losing what, like 2 of their last 3 games? That's quite major. And winning their last game too, only to the Cincinnati Bengals. Honestly, the Bengals, I thought were gonna win for a little bit. They were leading in the second quarter, and then the Patriots ran away with it. Bills have been looking very dominant. Patriots have not been. I mean, it's a stretch for the Bills to win the division here, since the Patriots have to lose to the Dolphins next week. But I think the Bills will pick up a win here, because they need it way more than the New England Patriots need a win here. So, you know, it's just who's playing for more and who wants it more, and I think the Bills want it more in this game. And moving on to our Saturday night game, 8:15. You know I'll be watching this, guys, because this is big for Packers playoff implications. It's the Rams at the 49ers. Literally, I wanted the 49ers to lose last week, and usually I'm biased in my picks. And I was like, no, you know, even though I'm super biased, I'll pick the Niners. You want to know who won that game? The Falcons. Okay, come on, Falcons. But this game's prime time, which makes it pretty much even. Divisional matchup makes it even. All the players San Francisco has hurt. Who? Richard Sherman. I don't even know. I haven't looked at their injury report. I know Richard Sherman is unlikely to play this week. That's not saying that he won't or he will, but you know, since he didn't play last week, it's unlikely he plays this week. Honestly, I think the same will happen, because they're facing a much better opponent. Maybe they might underestimate him a little, but also another thing that'll make it way more even and in the Rams' favor is the Rams have a sliver of hope for the playoffs here. They have just a sliver of hope. And I mean, if San Francisco wants a 1 seed, they'll have to win their next 2 games, but yeah, the Rams are just playing for more here. Even though it's a slim chance they make the playoffs, I think they believe in themselves. They go in San Francisco and pick up a dub here, boys. Alright, moving on to our next game. Kind of a useless game, so I'll just go over it real quick, give my thoughts and opinions. Our first 1 o'clock game on Sunday, because that was a late night Saturday game. 5-9 Jaguars facing 5-9 Falcons. Falcons are home. Jaguars somehow beating the Raiders. The Raiders aren't that impressive. The Falcons have been. Give me them in that one. I'm sorry, guys, if I just skim over your team, you know. It's because your team's probably bad. Or your team's good facing a bad team. It's like a blowout. Just like this next game, 12-2 Ravens facing off against the 6-8 Browns. After this week, Ravens are going to start benching their players, because with this win, they clinch a #1 seed. And, of course, who doesn't want the #1 seed? So they're playing out for a lot. The Browns are not, because they're basically eliminated. They would need like a lot to happen. They need them to win 2 and 2 other teams to lose 2 in a row to have a chance. And they're playing Baltimore. But, you know, I don't see that happening. Moving on to our next 1 o'clock game, the 5-9 Panthers against the 6-8 Colts, and 2 teams who aren't in the playoffs. Colts are at home. Yeah, Panthers looking to rebuild kind of because, you know, Will Grier, I think that's how Grier, however you pronounce it, is making his first start. Pretty much just saying they're closing up shop, and Colts have not said that yet, so give me them in this one. And with our most entertaining 1 o'clock game here, the 1-13 Bengals facing off against the 3-11 Dolphins in a huge battle to decide the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Just kidding, that doesn't even decide that either, which is so disappointing. Bengals could win like their next 2 games and most likely still get the #1 pick. So, Dolphins, I think they have that. They're at home. I don't watch either of these teams, but I know they both suck, and the Dolphins suck a little less. So, moving on here to our next 1 o'clock game. I think, yes, 1 o'clock. We have the 8-6 Steelers facing off against the 5-9 Jets. Jets, I've heard something about Le'Veon Bell. I don't know if it was about injury or not, but the 8-6 Steelers, they're playing for a lot more. The Jets' offense isn't that good. It's just going to be a defensive battle in this game expected. So if there's like a high spread on this game, if you want to bet, I probably wouldn't take it with the 2 defensive-minded teams. But I feel like the Steelers' defense is a bit better than the Jets' defense, so give me them in this one. Moving on to our... Dude, I love having to scroll for like a freaking hour, dude. Hopefully our network gets this game. We have the 11-3 Saints at the 8-6 Titans. Probably the only interesting 1 o'clock game. That'll be close. Titans, honestly, are playing for a lot more. They're at home. If they want to stay in the division or the playoff race, they have to beat the Saints here. Saints coming off of a short week, too. All signs pointing towards the Titans. And like I said, this isn't me being biased because the Packers have a higher seed than the New Orleans. And this game doesn't really even count towards them, I don't think. Yeah, because it's non-conference. But I feel like all signs are pointing to the Titans here, you know, giving them all the advantages and stuff like that. And moving on to our next game, I'm going to skim over it. 3-11 Giants, 3-11 Redskins. I don't think Eli Manning's playing. What's his face? Daniel Jones is coming back. Dwayne Haskins, I don't know. 2 rookie quarterbacks, you know. Dwayne Haskins, he's been decent these last couple weeks. That's all I can give him. And moving on to our first 4:05 game. The 3-10-1 Lions at the 5-9 Broncos. That's what's going to be playing on my TV. Okay, that's just embarrassing, man. I guess Broncos. Lions officially packed it up. Matthew Stafford this week officially got announced he will not be returning this season. People are like, oh my god, he's coming back. But he just got put on injured reserve. Means he's not coming back for the season. Kerryon Johnson, I think, is done for the season. One of their top, was it Marvin Jones Jr.? It was either him or the other star receiver for the Lions. They're packing up shop, you know. Broncos, I'm pretty sure Von Miller's still out there. They haven't packed up shop yet. So for that, expect a really low scoring game. Lions probably going to only score like 3 points in there. Yeah, give me the Broncos. Give me the Broncos. Another game I got to skim over. 6-8 Raiders at the 5-9 Chargers. Raiders fans, I don't blame you. I would hate my team after that. I would never be a Raiders fan again. If on their last game they lose to a team who has lost by 3 or more possessions in like what, 4 games in a row, and then you let them come back on your final home game, that's just embarrassing. You deserve to lose like the rest of your 2 games on the season. And with finally an interesting game, and I don't know if it's gonna be a good game, but an interesting game. Cowboys are trying to psych out the Eagles. They're like, oh my god, Dak Prescott's hurt. But guess what? He's not freaking hurt. The Cowboys are just trying to like get an advantage over the Eagles because they know they suck. But in all seriousness, Dak is obviously going to play. he'll scorch the Eagles defense. You know, their defense sucks, just like they did when in like what, week 6 when they met up. I think that was when they met up, somewhere around then. Yeah, but moving on to our next game here, you know how much I would love for the Cardinals to upset the Seahawks in Seattle at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. And you want to know that I'm not able to freaking watch that game because, okay, I'm not going to get mad. The Lions just suck. And I'm not a Lions fan. Okay, I'm not getting into that. But yeah, 4-9-1 Seahawks, 11-3 Seahawks, or 11-3 Seahawks, 4-9-1 Cardinals. I would love for what happened last week to happen this week, as in the Seahawks lose when I picked them. But yeah, expect it to be a close divisional game. You know, this is like the Cardinals Super Bowl. That's what they say about bad teams. So yeah, this is a Cardinals Super Bowl, and the Cardinals would kill to win this game. And they're going to be fighting harder than the Seahawks, but the Seahawks don't have to fight that hard to win. So for that fact, give me them in this one. But yeah, moving on to our 8 o'clock game, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the 10-4 Chiefs facing off against the 7-7 Bears. Bears packing up shop. Well, they're not benching any of their players. It's just they're not in the playoffs, so they're not going to play as hard. Still expect the seats to be sold out, though, you know, because it's a primetime game, and it's the Bears. It's their city's home team. They live in a big city. But I think the Chiefs are just a way better team. What did they lose? Like 3 games, and now they're on like a hot streak right now. I would love for the Bears to beat the Chiefs, so then people think the Packers are actually good. But we get to prove that in 24 hours exactly after this game happens, with the Green Bay Packers traveling to U.S. Bank Stadium. Packers have never won in U.S. Bank Stadium. 0-3 there. Kind of disgraceful. But another stat that has to be thrown around is Kirk Cousins is 0-8. 0-8. He's played 8 Monday Night Football games. You want to know how many of those he's won? He's won 0 of them. But yeah, I mean, you could say the same about Aaron Rodgers in U.S. Bank Stadium. So those are just 2 stats that are going to be thrown around, which honestly they don't really mean anything because it's a whole different game, whole different meaning, whole different everything. Yeah, because you really can't compare the Packers 2 years ago without Aaron Rodgers and compare him to this season's team, you know. And same with Kirk Cousins. I mean, he already played a Monday night game earlier, so you can kind of make fun of his 0-8 record on Monday Night Football. But honestly, you know, I can't pick against the Packers. Big injury report. Dalvin Cook is not expected to play. Their backup, forgetting his name, Boone? No, that's their 3rd string. Crap, I forgot their 2nd string's name. Whatever. He didn't play last week, but he might play this week. You know, it's not confirmed, but Dalvin Cook is not confirmed either. They'll probably save him until Monday night to confirm, just because they want to like scare the Packers, but you know, he's most likely not playing. That's what's already been said. So give me the Packers in this one. It'll be a close game. Packers are playing for a little bit more because the Vikings, they pretty much clinched up a playoff spot. Like I said, they have like what, 98% chance to make the playoffs. All they have to do is like have the Rams lose, or they win one of their next 2 games. It's that easy. But the Packers, they are playing for the #1 seed. And, okay, see, look, here. If the Seahawks lose, look, if the Seahawks lose this game and the Packers win this game, the Packers are the #1 seed, only having to beat the Lions next week to get that #1 seed. But nonetheless, just depends what happens Saturday and Sunday on how hard some teams play and how hard they don't on Monday night. We'll see all about that on Monday, though. So if you all guys did enjoy this, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And for now, this has been BenMom12 signing out. See y'all later. Peace, guys.